Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is Saturday morning, so you know it's time for another live edition of The Extra Point. As you can see, we got the hit makers in the house. Mr. Michael Hasso, ho, ho, ho to you, sir. We got Miss Tasha T. Sizzle holding it down from the Dominican Republic.
What you
And
call
today,
Mike?
What?
What you call
oh, now we all know he's a happily married man. Damn it, this is a family show. I love you, Stacy. Blowing kisses. Can't wait to see the baby. Stop that, Tasha. As we proceed to give you what you need, ladies and gentlemen, y'all know what this is. This is a Michigan dominant show, but today we have a treat. We have a friend of the show who just happens to be a TCU dad on a couple of eves away from one of the biggest games in all of our lives here, the TCU Michigan playoff game. So we're going to go behind, we're going to call it frenemy lines because he's no enemy to the show. He's a friend of the show, Mr. Marcus, unapologetic hustler himself, Stone. What's going on, Mr. Stone?
Man, what's good? What's good? It's been a minute.
It has been a minute. Now, just in case he can't stay for the whole show, we do our shout outs to close the show, but I want to give this man a shout out here. Because of this man here, I was able to interview my first celebrity, Miss Latasha Scott from Escape. Now, to tell y'all how this industry works, it's very competitive, it's very territorial, and he was actually the host of his show when she came on. And instead of him puffing out his chest and looking down on the rest of us fish bowlers, he invited your boy on to get some of the light. And I'll never, ever forget that. That was a great, great experience. So welcome to the show. Appreciate having you on board. Now, let's get right to it. There's a big game coming up in a couple of weeks. And we all know you to be cool, calm, collected. You're like the Black Michigan Mike. We never really see your oil light never comes on. Your temperature never runs too high. We never see no smoke coming out from under your engine. You got a great poker face. But tell the truth. Here's your chance to bear it all out. After the Big 12 championship game, there was a 14-hour window before the college football playoff brackets were announced. How nervous were you? And did you even watch the selection show?
Yeah, so I did not watch the selection show. It wasn't by choice. I'm always out there doing what I do, man. So I did not get to watch the selection show. I actually got the notification from all of the TCU pages of we're in. So I was like, oh, okay, we good. But leading up to that, man, I got to experience this from a different perspective, right? I've been in coaching like all my life. So, but to be a parent at this level was a different feeling. So it was a roller coaster for me. One, you want to see the hard work pay off. Two, you don't want the kids to take a blow by somebody else's fate. You know what I mean? So it was emotional for me. I can't even front. It was like, I need the committee to come through, look at the resume, look at what happened. Like it was, they fought back in, telltale of who they are, you know. And in sports, you always say, you got to find a way to win. You got to find a way to win. And they found several ways to win throughout the season. And I was hopeful that the resume spoke for itself, and it paid off. It helped that USC lost, but to say the last, it worked out.
Now, last question for me, and then I'm going to turn it over to the hit makers to holler at you. TCU reminds me a lot of Michigan last year. When the preseason rankings came out, we were not on the college football playoff radar. And then week by week, we kind of quietly, slowly just climbed the ranks, and found ourselves in a position to be there in the end. At what point during the season, or was there a point in the season where you said to yourself, wow, man, this team could actually do something special? Was it 3-0, 4-0, 5-0? Was there a specific game?
It wasn't even season. It was off season. I saw the difference. You know, just the level of energy was the biggest thing that I saw that changed. But also, one thing that I think people don't realize is they're not a young team, right? They have young components that are dynamic, but they are pretty upper class. And same thing with Michigan. I take it not even last year, the year before, right? When Harbaugh was, oh, he's out of there, it was, everything was see you later, and then the next year, those guys got more time to gel together. And it became the tale of what they are now, right? It's just the building blocks, and every program goes through that. So,
so don't come on this show telling Mike he was right and me and Tasha we were wrong. That's not how you start a show.
You know me, man. I'm a straight shooter, bro. I call a spade. So, I was on that bandwagon too. Like Michigan just like, come on, Harbaugh, you'd have been to the pinnacle of coaching. Like you a step down and you can't get these guys together. Like, but oftentimes it's not about the coaches, man. It's about the personalities in the locker room, along with them actually coming together, right? You can have all of the star-studded players, but if they don't gel, it won't come together on the field. You know what I mean? So I think that's the culture is the biggest contributor in all programs. So I think that was the determining factor. Somebody stepped up and was like, we got to pull it together, and it wasn't the coach.
Mike?
Yeah, I got two questions for you. My first one is, how do you beat TCU consistently?
Man, to be honest with you, Mike, I done watched a lot of TCU games. I don't know. I'm being straight up. I don't know. It's I kind of allude to it being the Rocky Balboa situation. When you got a dog that's just backed against the wall and don't want to quit, bro, it's hard. You can have all of the right matchups, all the statistical, hey, this person is going to do this, but when it's time to go, it's just who wins the downs, who wins more downs throughout the game, right? And that's what it's going to be. It's going to be a tale of that, right? Because if you look at it, TCU specifically, right? This season, they have not been, well, let me back that up. Beginning of the season, none of these teams were looked at being where they were or where they are right now, right? But statistically, every game, they did not always have, oh, they're going to railroad anybody, they're going to run away with it. TCU wasn't even looked at being in the Big 12 championship, you know what I mean? Let alone have the record that they have. So it's the reason they play. Every Saturday, every Friday when they have a Friday game or whatever. So, you got to line up and who wants it more.
Yeah. And I will give you your quarterback a shout out because, man, that kid can play and he puts his heart all on the field. And I think it was unfortunate on that last couple of series. He's like, dang it, just give me the ball. But that being said, what other offensive players should Michigan look out or watch out for?
I'm glad I'm not on the coaching staff, because that is, I think, 3 players have been highlighted, which is kind of like the Trojan horse analogy for me when I do coach, right? If I highlight 3 people, you never pay attention to them, and then when games are on the line, you don't have a game plan for everything else, right? So key person that I know Michigan is not prepared for is Tay Barber, who was a beast last year. Was a beast and still is a beast, but has not been featured. They look at our return man just as a return man and not a threat, right? You also got 2 other receivers outside of Quentin Johnson that were balling last year, but Quentin being who Quentin is, you talking about, you got 6 to 7 playmakers that you're not schemed for. So I think it goes in TCU's favor.
You mean 6'4", 215 Quentin?
6'4", 215 Quentin. Yeah. But you also got Spivey. You got Tay Barber. You got I call him Red Dreads. I can never get his name.
It's cool.
Yeah, but yeah, you can you got a lot of people that they're not schemed for, but from what I've seen, TCU's current offense does not highlight those, right? Because they've been able to win with Kendre Miller, with Quentin Johnson, with Max Duggan. You know what I mean? So, and then the defense, it's a surprise as well.
Cool. Thank you.
He said thank you. But no, to kind of piggyback off of what Hustle was saying, I really, to be honest, it's only certain times that I watch TCU. I watched them last year, and I'm thinking, damn, they were this close. Like, they're this close to getting there. It's always that Big 12 bias because they're either only looking at OU or they're always, I don't know what she said, but hey, they're always looking at, Oklahoma, and before then it was always Texas. It was never TCU. They were just always right there. Now, my question, as this dump truck drives by, so we all know the Big 12 plays no kind of defense whatsoever. I think you guys are ranked, 74th nationally in defense.
Mm-hmm.
What makes you think that they can control Michigan?
I think the style of play is different, right? Which is evident, right? Big Ten has a certain style of play. SEC has a certain style of play, right? I think the how, as Wayne points out, how the trenches are played, right? So typically, big body doesn't necessarily mean overpowering or best body, right? One thing that I don't think Michigan understands is the speed of the bodies that TCU has, right? I'm not saying that Michigan doesn't have speed, but those guys fly at a different level, right? And that's something that you can't necessarily coach, is athletic ability at that point. So I honestly, it's going to be who can get the most edges, right? You can take a predominant pass rusher that's speed, and you could have a big body, but if you can't move that big body, it's a lost cause. It's a lost cause.
We were talking about speed off wax prior to the show starting, and Mike can attest to this. Texas speed is a different type of speed when you're talking about just straight up line them up and let's just go 100 yards down the line. I'm very concerned about the wide receiver core after watching the first half of the Big Ten championship game. But Mike asked a question that sparked another question in my mind. How do you beat Michigan now?
That was my second question. That was my last question. Because again, and piggybacking off what you saying before Hustle answers, our secondary is crap. And when I saw that, I was like, ooh, I said that TC, ooh.
Mike disagrees.
That may be where we get burned.
So I think, how do we beat Michigan? My vantage point I wouldn't attack the run. I would contain the run. Right? I think more teams got focused on trying to attack the run defensively, which set up the opportunity for everything else to happen, right? So you don't necessarily have to have star-studded receivers, but if an opportunity presents itself, more chances than not, it's gonna result in, the win or the bigger play, right? Which has been for sake of Michigan's big play ability, right? Second half, right? It's set it up, and then we expose it, right? But yeah, I think you contain the run, but for TCU you gotta start early. And they have the pieces to start early. It can't be 2 second half teams. It just yeah, they've been that all season. So I think whoever gets the fastest start, I think is the victor in this one.
Mike, you got anything else?
No, I don't have any questions, but I will stand up for Michigan secondary. And they're the ones that, made that excellent play against Ohio with that amazing. They play very sound defense, I think. And so to Hustle's point, I do agree that the speed is different. And I will say that Ohio was a good test for the speed factor. I also agree that it's all how you play them. And I think probably TCU's best defense is going to be their offense and trying to just try to just play their game. And I agree that when you're playing defense against Michigan, that it should be focused on the secondary to force Michigan to run the ball, because I think when Edwards busts it out, it's more on a blitz, on a one-on-one, and it's just like that's not even their game plan. And let's be real, Edwards isn't the same as Corum, and I don't think anyone's pressured Edwards to actually make those zone reads because he's not patient enough. So I would attack Michigan's weakness in the offense, and I'm going to say it's Edwards.
Yeah, but I still think our secondary is the Achilles heel when it comes to that defense. I mean, they're not slaw, but that is the one thing, I don't want to sound all offend anybody. That's the one chink in the armor is the secondary. And with that, like we said, with that TCU, those receivers, that speed, that's going to be hard to cover. Like we said, that's not Texas, that's not Florida speed that when you playing in the Big Ten. Even though you got a lot of players that have migrated there, it's just kind of different when you train there, when you go to school there, when you are living there. That speed is hard to get. I mean, hard to contain.
Right. And I
just think the missing pieces, again, from my vantage point, right, from what I have seen on film, Michigan hasn't had to face multiple speedsters as far as receivers, right? You can game plan and you can play a zone, right? You can have a linebacker spying, you can have a corner, and a safety covering primary guy, right? Which if that model holds true, that's geared towards Quentin Johnson, right? So now you're taking 3 people to cover 1, right? Not saying that they're all locked up on him, but the responsibility of 3 people to cover 1, and you got other people. I mean, Wayne, I think, the big stage has been all year. They've been proving themselves. Now, whether they make it to the final dance, that's why they play. But being ready, I don't think they have an issue with being ready. They've been underdogs since the beginning of the season.
Do you think
TCU
will travel well?
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Plane tickets ready. Let us make it to SoFi. I'm there. Yeah.
All right, so the one thing I do want to agree with you about that you said earlier was that for Michigan, you really need to try to contain the run and not stop the run, because they did play into JJ's hands. They went man coverage across the board, kept stacking the box, and
throw it over top.
Over their head the entire game. So it will be interesting to see if TCU employs a different method. Now, you got the TCU hat on. You see all this Michigan gear around you. Now's your time to shine. How much does TCU win by?
Man, look, if we're going to hold true to the season, it got to be 2 or less. It got to be 2 or less. Look, you already know, PL, man, I'm a realist, dog. I honestly, in my heart of hearts, bro, I think it's going to be a closer game than people think. Again, stats are stats, right? But it's just something about the fight, man. Like, you can't, when you build a culture, you can't do anything about that. You know what I mean?
Yes, but you chasing pipe dreams. I'm just gonna go and put that out there.
Hey, I mean, I dream. Hey, dreaming ain't stopped me yet. So I mean, look.
Now, okay. So now that we got it out the way about TCU, I want you to chime in on something that we've been boxing about for the last month on this show. We've led off the last shows with it, and I just want to get your opinion on it as well, because we haven't really heard you chime in. Primetime Deion Sanders is taking his talents to Boulder, Colorado, leaving HBCU and a lot of African-American sports pundits in disgust. Mainly Bomani Jones. Bomani Jones, you stop that. But I'm not going to take.
Wasn't disgusted. He said he would have taken the money too. He didn't say he was disgusted.
He did everything but call the man a sellout, Tasha. Now, we're not going to box. We're going to let
this point, you guys did not listen to what he said. He says everybody is saying that I said he was a sellout. He says I never said that, and he didn't. He was just saying
he alluded.
He was just saying the ramifications of leaving an HBCU. What does that do to the HBCU with Prime being gone? He said he would have left too and took the money.
Hustle, please chime in on this because me and Tasha, we'll get into that rabbit hole and forget y'all on the show. So, Hustle, what are your thoughts?
Man, honestly, it's a mix of emotions, man. To be honest with you,
pick a side, Hustle. You know how we do.
No. You know, look, for real. Again, P.O., you already know, bro. I don't hold my tongue for nobody, bro. So,
that's true.
It's a mix of emotions. One, growing up around HBCUs, falling in love with HBCUs. There's a culture around that and an importance of it. But optically, that doesn't rely on one person. Every HBCU has alumni. Those same alumni that came out for Deion should be the same alumni that step up even more with Deion gone. That's just calling it what it is. Now, does it set it back to some degree? Yes, because the megaphone is gone, right? You don't have another megaphone. You have other dominant and prominent players going and coaching at HBCUs, but they're not the personality, right? So what HBCU will miss is the personality of Deion, right? Because he was able to be the megaphone saying, "Hey, the tires are flat over here. We need to fix it, and I'm asking you to come in and help out." You know what I mean? But at the same time, it doesn't mean that he can't still be a catalyst for it. You know what I mean? So I'm with it. I would have left. He didn't sell. He told no lies, bro. Before HBCU came knocking, he was looking to go to straight Power 5. They did not give him a chance. So HBCU gave him an opportunity.
He would listen if somebody offered him this year. So
Absolutely.
He was a man of his word. He was truthful. Now, Langston brought up a good point. He said the key point, a major factor is the red zone offense. Michigan is 5th at 93.7%. TCU is 80th at 81.8%. Well, the counter that, Langston, TCU doesn't have to do much in the red zone when they're second in the country with 50-plus yard touchdown plays, only second behind UT. So they don't really do much in the red zone because they will hit you from midfield.
They specialize in big plays.
They'll be at the opposition's 40 and score.
Now,
that's why I believe data is diluted, man. Is you gotta line up. It's just gotta line up, and it's a chess match. You gotta line up. It'll hold some degree. Yeah. But.
Yeah, and Wayne, who's a staunch opposer of Deion in the first place, he feels vindicated now that Deion left him high and dry, saying that's the issue with us. We like a shiny object. That's a topic for the Unapologetic Hustle show that I'm planning to come back one day.
Coming back soon, man. Coming back soon. I got.
Make sure we're a guest on one of those shows, all right? Like, let's keep this in the family. He has a very large platform as well. Now,
man,
I need my trusty boy, man, my sidekick. Look, do I need to send it to you? Do I need to send it to you?
Mike, did you have a comment?
I was just saying, man, Wayne's making them points over here. I like Wayne.
Right. Wayne chiming in from New York City, the Big Apple.
The Big Apple, start spreading the news. Look at
that. All right. Stone, do you got time to stick around for a little NFL talk?
Man, of course. I'm here for you, man. I got you.
All right. So I'm going to start with you, Mike, Mr. Ho Go Blue. I think we can all agree that your Philadelphia Eagles right now are the number one team in the NFL. Can we start there? They're the best team in the NFL. We can agree on that. All right. With that being the case, we're going to go clockwise. We're going to start with you, Mike, since you know this team better than any of us. Mm-hmm. If you have to put money down on one team that will prevent them from hoisting that Lombardi trophy in a couple of months, what team would that be?
I'm going to stick with what I said day one, Buffalo. Like, I'm going to stick with it. I think they have shown some, opportunities that they can do better in. They're human. But I'm also going to say, from the NFC side, I would say the 49ers, just because they run the ball really well. And some of those gaps that McCarthy's going through, those are huge. And so I was like, man, and that's the Eagles' downfall is the run game, or like the run defense, I should say.
Tasha, do you agree? You saying
we're on the Super Bowl, baby. I don't know what Mike's talking about, and I didn't bring my hat. See, people, let me break this. Let me tell y'all how rude Mr. 1PL Coulter was to me the other day in our group chat. Mike, Paul and I have a group chat that Paul finally starts to participate in.
I finally got a new phone. Now I have better reaction time.
So I had on my 49er hat and I sent a photo. Now, people, I'm not going to tell you how the vile things that Paul said, but if y'all ever want me to pull up the receipt, I'll pull it up and show you.
Don't.
So I didn't bring my hat today because I wanted everybody to know Paul is an angel and he doesn't say certain things. My 49ers are going to the Super Bowl. Y'all know I always root for my 49ers and I can always be transparent. When they suck, and I'll be the first one to tell you. We looking good, and he sure is. Purdy is back there throwing that ball, baby.
Oh, Lord.
I didn't, and the thing is, of course, I would love for it to be Trey Lance back there doing this. I just wanted anybody but Garoppolo, and I've always said that, anybody but Garoppolo. Again, I would love for it to be Trey Lance, but Purdy back there doing his thing. You know, I'm surprised. I really am, coming out of Iowa State, but I think because he has so much around him, it's making it a little bit easier. It's not like they're a struggling team and you had to put somebody just blowing it like they did Cap. You know, they pulled Cap out and look what he did. I think once you have a solid team that's already set up, once you pull a decent rookie quarterback out, he can run that offense. So that just goes to show you Garoppolo was not good.
Garoppolo was great, and this was about the Eagles, not the San Francisco 49ers.
No, you said who could beat the Eagles. You said who could beat the Eagles, and I told you. I just told you.
Leading the witness. You're on
them hashtag faithful, them hashtag gold-blooded, even though we let the Warriors have that one. Thank you. Them hashtag gold-blooded, them hashtag 49ers, team.
Why
let me get on Wayne while he listening. I know you up there spreading the news. I saw you and you love it so with your family in Times Square. Wayne, tell us. Type in the things who you said was gonna win the NFC West. I'll wait.
We're not gonna wait on that.
But I told all of y'all, my 49ers was gonna win that NFC West. Wait, no.
Ladies and gentlemen, I told y'all a fight was about to break out. I warned Stone that a fight was about to break out.
I don't get this opportunity often with my team because y'all know it was a few years when we didn't have nothing.
Don't tell her that. No, look, we're gonna move on in a hurry. Don't tell her she's right. Stone.
It was good.
The question
you see what Mike has to deal with every week, y'all.
The question said, "Who do you think?"
She's tired of us.
I'm gonna fight.
Don't fight. She's tired of us.
The question was, who do you think will stop the Eagles? And I said the 49ers because we going to the Super Bowl.
Y'all look fantastic. I will say that. Brock Purdy does not look like Mr. Irrelevant. He looks like the second coming of Kurt Warner coming off the street and leading his team deep into the playoffs and possibly the Super Bowl. I agree with you there, but I like how you slipped that whole 49er soliloquy in there. Good job by you. Also, if there's one thing that can knock off the Eagles, who would you bet on it being?
I'm going to go with the experience, man. I'm going to say KC can still take them.
Okay. All right. Look, y'all gonna stop betting against Patrick Mahomes, Mr. Underthrower himself. Right, Miss Bonita just went off on us, y'all. We fought the whole show. Now, the thing is, I'm really disappointed in all three of you because you missed the obvious answer.
Ain't nobody.
Don't say it. Don't even say it.
Answer. It's your favorite team. Your favorite team. Your favorite team. America's team.
No, it's
Dallas Cowboys.
No, it's
Dallas Cowboys not slip through y'all tongue. The Dallas
Look what I found in the trash. You want to see what I found in the trash just now? Look.
See, even Mike knows that's America's team. Look, the Dallas Cowboys are the team best equipped to knock the Eagles off. They're going to show y'all next Saturday on Kremlin Eve. They're gonna show you on Kremlin Eve. We're gonna
when it doesn't happen, what you gonna say?
I'm gonna do like we do every year. We still them boys. Look,
yeah, he's gonna say, "Well, catch us in the playoffs, though."
And what happens when they get to the playoffs? playoffs, Mike. What do the Cowboys do, Mike?
They Cowboy. They just lose.
Oh, good point with what Wayne just said too.
Yeah,
That's
look,
my
I don't
sleeper.
talk about the Bengals. I'm still mad about that game 2 weeks ago. But
That's my sleeper team.
Yeah, he punked the Titans.
No, Mike, don't use that word. My mama be watching this. You know she'll
It
type.
is.
Hey, AP. Hey, mama.
Right. Show
Hey,
some love.
sis. Hey, brothers. I know it's been a minute. All y'all.
No, wait a minute. We got the squad checking in. She said the thing that he's got to get Brady out of his head and fast because that's who they're going to face. Oh, she's talking about the Bengals.
Oh.
No, Brady. No.
Nah.
No, Shamika.
Nah, don't get Brady his wheelchair.
Old man River.
Dak Prescott is going to outperform Jalen Hurts. We got a better running back tandem and Tony Pollard, who y'all did say in the beginning of the year was going to have a great season. Y'all were correct. Zeke has been healthy. CeeDee Lamb is starting to step up. That defense with Micah 11 from heaven. Oh, no, it's the Dallas Cowboys. Now, speaking of Dallas, we're going to transition a little bit. I kept this off the script because I know how y'all do. I don't want y'all digging up no dirt on my team. So y'all going to have to do this off the dome. Now, Tuesday, one of Tasha's favorite players, one Von Miller, had his Von cast, and Micah Parsons was on there as a guest. Micah Parsons made a comment that sent shockwaves through Twitter by saying that the Eagles are not about Jalen Hurts, that they are a system-related team that just has a lot of talent. He basically just dissed the front runner for the MVP, saying Hurts is a system QB and that he's not all that. Mike, what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I like Hurts' response. He like, man, we ain't even trying to worry about this dude. Well, you got people trying to climb up for the crown. Like he's like, nah, like you go over here, you go over the kids' table.
You just called the this year's most valuable player on defense the kid table. Mike, you wrong for that.
I mean, Mike, he does have the talent. He does have the talent, but they just don't use him to 100% in the Dallas scheme.
Shamika, no, he needs to speak freely. Tasha, what do you think about that? Do you think that was unnecessary bulletin board material?
As Snoop said, and if your ass get cracked, shut your trap.
I asked for off the dome, and that's what I got. Good job by you, Tasha. Now, Wayne says, where's Michael been lately?
Right.
Tweeting.
He had some adjustments to make, but let's not forget the last game against Philly. He had 7 tackles, 2 sacks, and a forced fumble. And that was on the road with Cooper Rush as the quarterback.
And an L, and a big old L, too.
I'm saying they still took one.
Facts get in the way of my story. Hustle.
What up?
Do you think the Cowboys will take out the Eagles next Sunday?
No.
Okay, next question. I'm getting on nerves. All right. Hustle.
What up, man? What's good?
Ooh,
I don't see it, man. Again, it's the matchups.
Who agrees? Yes,
it's the matchups. I don't see it.
Facts. Okay, Langston coming in. Keep talking about Micah. Y'all gonna be the reason why they get smoked next week because we're gonna send this to Micah Parsons. You know
send it to him.
You know I ain't got no problem tweeting him.
You quit beefing with our best player anyway, Tasha. We'll talk about that at another time. Now let's get to a matchup today that I am ready to sink my teeth into. We got the 8-5 Miami Dolphins taking on the 10-3 Buffalo Bills. Now, Tasha, I'm going to start with you real quick because remember the last time they played in Miami, you said it was 137 degrees when they fought. Buffalo was dropping like flies in that Miami humidity in late August, early September. Well, today, the football gods have a sense of humor because they're playing in Orchard Park. It's going to be cold and snowy. Do you think that Miami stands any chance in hell of beating Buffalo in the snow?
Let me for once, I'm getting ready to put on my Michigan Mike hat. Tua, be quiet. It snows in Alabama.
Mike, you got to turn it on Tua today. Mike,
and you know, I sent you the video of Coach Imitation of Life walking around with his free britches on. and listening to YG, like
He did not say that.
So, look, wasn't that the thing, the moniker about Tampa Bay before they won that Super Bowl that they could never win?
When Rondé Barber caught that interception and took it to the house against Donovan McNabb.
Yes. Yeah. So I really think weather plays a factor when you're not accustomed to playing in that temperature. And come on. Now I know I've lived in the North, and it's not fun. It's a difference between 31 degrees in the South and 31 degrees in the North. It's a big damn difference.
Right. Like Wayne just said, 10 inches of snow is the difference. We don't get that in Texas. If we get 2 inches of snow, we shut down. Now, Stephanie, don't encourage Tasha. All right.
No. You know what? Miami reminds me of like a young, privileged team, I will say. And you got Buffalo over here practicing in the snow, throwing people off the tables, cracking. Like it's a different team.
Lower the temperature in the practice facility down there in Dade County.
Stop that, Tasha. Stop it right now. You see what I have to deal with, Stone?
There was a snowflake by the plains earlier today.
Now, stop it, Mike. Now, Mike, your buddy Langston is basically asking the question that I have written down right here for you. So good job by you, Langston. I guess he's psychic, and we'll pull that up for you as soon as I find it. He says, can Miami run the ball? Now, Mike, I got some nerd stats for you, and I want you to chime in on this topic. Both of these teams have top 10 run defenses. And I know a game like this in the elements is your type of game. Run the ball, stop the run, play good defense. Well, Buffalo is 4th against the run. Miami is 7th against the run. Who has the better day on the ground tonight?
I think Buffalo, like, Tasha was saying, it's their element, like they do this. This is what they do. It's very similar kind of and I'll bring it back to the game, Michigan, Ohio. We knew that, last year they couldn't fight in the elements, and look what happened. They didn't know what to do. This is going to be the same thing. I do believe Miami is very talented, but can they win in these type of games? And I don't think so.
Stone, what are your thoughts on today's game? And what are your thoughts on Tua, by the way? Are you sold on him?
I'm not sold, but he's overperformed where
overperformed.
Well, we thought he would be.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree that
he's having a day to day. Stone is just putting all his points on the pedestal.
Man, you coming in every week.
Go ahead, Stone. Finish your thought.
Yeah. I gotta give it to Buffalo, man. I don't see Miami stopping the QB. I ain't talking about they ain't stopping the QB. Period.
You think even with him having that the injury hasn't really slowed him down ever since it was reported, but playing in that cold, what you think on that joint?
No, I don't think so. It's something about somebody being determined, man. Like when you want to run away and make sure you win. Again, they're gonna make it happen. Just like like Mike talked about earlier, Max was determined in the Big 12 championship.
Yeah. Hey, that fourth quarter was something magical. Yeah. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, he said, just get out the way, give me the ball. I'm Vince Young in 06. Let me do my thing.
Yeah.
And stop with the mic love. All right, we're about to zap Mike out of here if you keep on. Now, I'm about to ask all three of you a question. Now, tonight's game, even though it's in the snow, it features 3 of the top 7 receivers in the entire league. We have Tyreek Hill, that's second in receiving. We have Stephon Diggs, that's 4th in receiving. And Jalen Waddle, that's 7th in receiving. Hustle, we're going to start with you and work our way back. Who has the bigger day today? Tyreek Hill, Stephon Diggs, or Jalen Waddle?
I'm going to say Waddle.
Oh, okay. You're going with the battle boy. Okay, you're going with Waddle. Mike, you agree?
I almost said Waddle, but then I was like, I can't go away from Diggs. Every time I pick Diggs, he's performed, so I'm going to go Diggs.
Please,
and I'm getting ready to be the odd man out. I was gonna say the Cheetah. Cheetah ain't been stopped. He ain't been stopped since he been in Kansas City.
He ain't playing no snow either.
Only thing, but he played in that cold and Arrowhead. That hit different too.
That is cold in Arrowhead.
The only
It
thing
is
to
cold
stop
there.
him was that incident in Oklahoma State. Other than that,
You
he
stop
ain't been.
that. Stop that.
Hey, I'm giving the man the props. Did y'all hear the story? He said he was on his way to a junior college in Tennessee. Drove himself there, and when he was almost there, they called him and told him they were rescinding his offer because they read his background. On his way back home is when the JUCO in Alabama called him, and he told him he was on his way. He was in Tennessee, and the guy told him he could play the next game. See?
What the Lord has for you is for you.
It's for you.
Put on my shouting shoes. What he got for you is for you. It's crazy I wound up in Dallas instead of Atlanta. My whole life changed. What he has for you is for you. God bless you.
Right. Man, you almost landed in Atlanta. Dang, that would have been different right there.
It was this close to being the ATL, but other forces intervened and I wound up in Texas. And Lord, that was a game changer. That's right.
Do it again, Hustle.
Right. Ain't no Michigan Mike's in Georgia. This is ain't no Hustles in Georgia. All right, and it ain't no big Tex in Georgia. Let's digress. All right. Now, y'all are supposed to be my people. Y'all supposed to be my circle. I need y'all to be respectful for the next 6 to 7 minutes. Don't y'all do it. Don't you say nothing crazy.
It must be a Titans question.
It is a Titans question, Mike. Damn it. We're gonna preview the Titans at the Chargers. Both teams are 7-6. Both teams are hanging on by a proverbial thread. Mama Coach is in the house with the Black Hearts. We love you, Mama Coach. I'll be home in a few days. Stephanie got the keys out. We're shouting and we're talking sports here on the Extra Point with Marcus Stone today. Y'all got me out of breath. Not the organ. Now, Tennessee has a big game. Y'all, we done lost 3 games in a row. We're looking like straight garbage. Mike, let me ask you this. Let me start with you because I know Tasha gonna crush my dreams. Let me start with you, Mike. Now, some nerd stats for you. Tennessee has the 3rd ranked rushing offense. The Chargers have the 28th ranked rushing defense. On the other side of the ball, the Chargers have the 3rd ranked passing offense, and the Titans have the 31st ranked passing defense. Who imposes their will on Sunday?
So I originally had picked the Titans too. I have to tell you this. It's almost like this story, right? So you got two people on the side of the road, and they have a big bowl of candy, right? And they're like, "No, don't take this candy. This is my candy." But as you see, one kid takes a candy and just walks away. Another kid takes another candy, walks away. So everyone sees, oh, this dude doesn't care about someone taking his candy. I'm gonna take his candy. You see this other dude try to take his candy, he punches him out. You go to the other side. I think that's the same way with the Titans and the Chargers. The Chargers have that fight right now, and I think the AFC should be afraid right now because they're going to come for that playoff spot, and I think Titans are the ones that are going to lose that.
Don't be trying to back up your preseason prediction because the Titans are finally starting to look like what you thought they would look like. Damn it, Tasha, you up. Let me ask you something. So basically he says that the Chargers are about to take our candy on Sunday. Oh, my God. This is awful. Now let's catch up. The Titans need that praise and worship pregame.
You gotta protect
praise and worship.
Wayne disagrees. He said, what the hell? Melody loves the analogy. Mike, you're having a pretty good day today. They saying the Titans' luck has run out. Tasha, I'm coming to you. Now, I need you to be nice. Remember, I'll let you wake me up at 6 a.m. for some damn Chick-fil-A bites every morning when you came to visit.
With a little biscuit in
it. And I went right out there and got your food every morning, didn't I? That means yes. So with that being the backdrop, let me ask you this. If the Titans lose on Sunday, which I think they probably will, if they just forfeit the AFC South. Now I'm asking this
before you even finish. The Jaguars, they made, what are they, 4-8? if the Titans,
No, they 5-8 after whooping us last week, and we only got a 2-game lead now.
So if the Titans continue with this skid, it's gonna be Duval County all in that beat.
Oh, I told you my mama was watching. Buster heard you. Now
Hey,
Buster
Buster.
went on in the TV.
Shout out to Buster, man.
So you putting it on wax that the Titans will fade and lose out the AFC South title, because we know if you don't win the AFC South, you're not making the playoffs, right?
Right.
We all
I mean,
agree
if
there,
they
right?
continue with this skid, it's no way. But the thing
this is an underwear skid.
But the thing is, the Titans should not even be in this position. They are far and beyond better than all other three teams in that conference. So if they happen to lose, it's their fault.
It's going to be colossal, and the show will be on permanent hiatus if we relinquish a 5-game lead from 3-4 weeks ago. Stone, who wins this game out there in SoFi?
I gotta go with the home team, man. Gotta go with the home team.
No love for King Henry. They got a hard run defense, damn it.
It ain't a King Henry deal. I mean, you get down the field faster passing it.
That's a good point. So damn it, I'm moving on. All right. Now, Mike, as much as this, I hate to do this because I didn't think the show was going to go this way today. I got to do it anyway. We're going to preview the Lions and the Jets. The 6-7 Detroit Lions are at the 7-6 Jets. And before we do that, my sister wants to walk off about the Titans. Tannehill and Lawan needs to be on somebody's standby list. So I agree. Get this house in the boat. Go. Give us Brock Purdy. We'll turn him into a champion. All right.
What? He'll be like purgatory if he goes to the Titans. Don't play with my new QB.
Remember that Polynesian sauce? All right.
That exotic smash.
You're playing with your future. All right. Now, I wanted to talk about this game because I know if you just look at this matchup, you're thinking, well, why would they be talking about the Lions and the Jets? Well, here's why. In our week 1 preview, we said, what is a team that didn't make the playoffs last year that you think will make noise this year? And Mike jumped out of his seat to say the Detroit Lions. And I know I looked at him like he was damn near crazy. And here they are at 6-7, won 5 of their last 6. The one loss was on Thanksgiving to a walk-off field goal, a 50-yard field goal by Buffalo. They had them on the ropes as well. Should be 6 in a row. They are squarely in the playoff race. Mike, what did you see in the offseason that had you thinking they'll be in this point?
I'm not going to lie. I was watching the Hard Knocks, and I was like, man, I like how they're gelling together.
That's your answer, Mike. Hard Knocks.
Well, let me get to it. So, like, once.
I mean, that's what Hustle said about TCU off-season.
Yeah, so I think it was the offseason and how he got the coaching staff, and he got his coaching staff off of ex-players because he understood that these younger players aren't going to respect you unless you've been there. And so he was like, all right, well, let's get these players in here, and they've just been gelling together. Yeah, they had some losses that were like a field goal or less type of thing, and I'm like, man, those could have been some wins. And I think now they're finally finishing the games, and I think that's their key word moving forward. Finish.
Michael, is this your Make-A-Wish day? Like, what is going on today?
Make-A-Wish day.
Why is it right chopping with clouds today? Dolphins playing impressive ball. He can be the difference right now. I'm glad you brought that up, Langston. I think he saw the script because I want to come to both of you, Tasha and Hustle, for this one. They both have quarterback situations that we thought were tenuous to start the year. You know, we weren't sold on Zach Wilson. He's been replaced by Mike White, who's been impressive for the Jets. Tasha, you've been on the Jets and the Lions as upset teams the last few weeks, and they have been playing up to that standard. Here's my question. At the rate that they're going to miss out on the QB quarterback sweepstakes that is Mr. Young out of Alabama, all of the good quarterbacks that's coming out. They won't be in a position to draft those players if you're going in the middle of the pack, if you're going 8-9 wins. Is it worth it for them to have success now at the expense of having a future generational quarterback, Tasha? Would you rather make the playoffs now?
No, I'm going to take that success now because you never know how these quarterbacks going to pan out when they get in the NFL. As people always say, it's totally different when you get to the NFL. You say, oh, I practice against this kind of speed all the time, but yeah, it's the same speed, but that NFL hit a little bit different.
It does.
And I will say,
to apologize to the Honolulu Blues because I did say with the first pick in the 2023 NFL draft, the Lions select. I'm sorry.
But you did pick them to beat a 10-win Minnesota team last week, so
Yeah.
you made up for it.
I was gonna say I agree with Tasha, and I think this is a similar position that the Eagles were in last year, to where it's like, man, no, like just lose. Like, what are you doing? Because
that was
let's be real.
You wanted Aiden Hutchinson. You was like, why they keep winning?
Yeah, I was like, come on, man, you can just go up there. But I will say that it's gonna benefit them this year because, to Tasha's point, they're gonna build that experience, and I think they won't, if they do get to the playoffs, they won't do anything in there. But they will get that experience for the future years.
Well, I don't know. They did it that
Hustle,
one
would you rather have a playoff year?
With Barry Sanders, and they never went back. So
that is true, and it could be a long hiatus. Remember how long the Titans had to wait between playoff runs after Steve McNair left? They drafted 5 quarterbacks, and none of them panned out. Hustle, with that being the backdrop, would you rather make the playoffs now, or would you rather lose the rest of your games and get a chance at one of these top college quarterbacks?
Man, I ain't letting nothing go. Take me to the dance.
right.
Take me to the dance. Let's go playoffs.
I'm team win too because these days are getting long. You know what I'm saying? We ain't no spring chickens no more, and I don't have 25 years to wait on another quarterback to develop in Tennessee. Tannehill
Needs to go.
I didn't even know what else to say. I just had to stop there. The NFC is just bad. No, they're not, Wayne. You got the Cowboys. That's all you need. That's all you need. It's the Cowboys. That's what we're gonna do.
Man, I hope the 49ers get the Cowboys in that round.
Again, and
just boo-boo on them.
Philly. And then we gonna take the scraps of whatever's left of that game. And stop it, Langston. Nashville. You played in Nashville. How can you not like the Titans? All right. Now, since y'all made me upset, it's time for y'all upset picks. Who's your upset pick this week, Mike?
Ooh.
I'm gonna go with the Colts over Minnesota. The Colts make it interesting in that AFC South.
Tasha said they selling Wolf tickets. I guess the tickets are half off now, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, Tasha, who's your upset pick this week?
I didn't look at the schedule, but aren't the Commanders and the Giants playing this week?
Sunday Night Football, yes.
I got the Commanders.
You got the Commanders over the Giants now. Hustle, I know I didn't send you the script, but let me ask you this. Do you think
wait. Commanders are favorite. That's not an upset. We do.
Mike, why you doing like that every week?
No, I'm just saying, last time she picked a favorite team. I gotta let that slide. This time, nope.
Damn.
Sure.
Hey, Mike be reading the terms and conditions. It took him all day to sign paperwork. He's like,
we'll come back to you though.
Let me pull up something.
You're making him do it again. All right. Well, in that case, Stone. Saints. They've been up and down this year. I had them to go to the Super Bowl, but they decided to go against crab legs and saw what that cost them. You never trust Red Rifle under any circumstances. Didn't you learn that in Dallas? I'm gonna digress. While we give Tasha time to come up with an upset pick. What are your thoughts on the Saints season? I know you Who Dat Nation, or is it Who They? Is y'all Who Dat or Who They?
Who that?
Who They is Cincinnati.
Did Jameis Winston catch a raw deal this year?
I believe so.
I think so too.
I believe so. Yeah, that's just my personal opinion.
Will they beat the Falcons? That's y'all big rival. Y'all gonna beat the Falcons this week?
Man, look. Well, why did you have a chance? Didn't Mariota leave?
Right, Mariota got benched. Don't you?
He got benched.
Wayne.
Oh,
don't you say a word, Wayne?
Well,
wait a minute. Langston says
Jacksonville over Dallas.
That would be my worst nightmare for Jacksonville to gain another game on Tennessee.
It's in Jacksonville.
Damn some Duval, don't you say it, Tasha. Look.
I'm not gonna say a word because that's what I was getting ready to. I was getting ready to yell out Duval.
If Dallas plays like they played last week and Jacksonville plays like they played last week, then Langston and Tasha are gonna win this segment. But I got the Titans over the Chargers. Y'all know the Chargers always get close to prosperity and then wet the bed. The one thing you can't say about the Titans is that they shy away from prosperity. 6 straight winning seasons, 3 straight AFC South titles. We come up and show up in these big games and get fluke wins. We're going to get another fluke win. There's no Bosa. There's no back end. Their defense is banged up. Justin Herbert's going to throw for 400 yards to lose on a walk-off field goal. Titans win by 4.
Start Herbert. Y'all hear that? Start Herbert if you have him in fantasy.
The Titans, look, start me if I'm playing against Tennessee's pass defense in fantasy. I will get you to the next round. Come on, man. We had the Trevor Lawrence looking like the second coming to Joe Montana last
And I
week.
got Trevor Lawrence and Jalen Hurts. Man, every week they give me over 40 points.
You sure did last week. Damn. All right. Now it's time for our weekly Tasha T. Sizzle's top 5. And since Mike is all decked out in his Christmas garb, we're gonna do Tasha's top 5 Christmas songs of all time. T. Sizzle, the floor is yours. Thank you, Mama.
Now, as a lot of you know, if you follow me on Instagram during Christmas time, y'all know I would get in the car and just sing a random Christmas song. I'm not really a fan of, per se, the Christmas holiday, but I love Christmas music.
Yeah, Christmas music is dope.
Now, coming in at number 5, Feliz Navidad.
Hey.
Feliz Navidad. Come on, Prospero Año y Felicidad. Okay. And the next one, I got to take it, get soulful with it, is Let It Snow.
And that's one of my mama's favorite Christmas CDs, the Boyz II Men Let It Snow CD. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on. Okay. Denise comes in from AJ's Coffee.
Wait a minute, that was my next one. In my mind. By the Temptations, baby.
Hey, so can you hit that to you? Can you hit that to you? Can you climb up there?
Not right now, Doc. It's a little bit cold outside. I don't have my.
And the next one, which of course I'm into real singers. Now I'll say this afterwards, but Give Love on Christmas Day by Johnny Gill.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I remember that one.
Why don't you give love on Christmas Day? Come on, JG. Anyway, and my favorite song in the entire world, if I'm listening to, what was it, 91, whatever, 92.9, Mix 92.9, they always play this, and I would put my phone on, and I almost wrecked a couple of times singing, rocking around the Christmas tree at the Christmas party hop. Come on, Brenda Lee.
Nobody knows who sings that song but Tasha. No, she did the jazz hands. We got jazz hands on
that was a good pitch, too.
I don't know what it is about Rocking Around the Christmas Tree by Brenda Lee, but that has always been my joint. But honorable mention, of course, is Last Christmas by Wham and the Christmas song by Mr. Nat King Cole himself.
Oh my God, Hustle. This Christmas didn't make her list.
It did.
I'm not a fan of this Christmas.
It did.
We're gonna zap you out of here, Mike. There's the one she left off out of your list.
We've been listening to more new school stuff, so the kids have been liking. Well, we've been liking the Sia's Christmas Snowman. And if anybody likes violin or more musicals, Lindsey Sterling for sure.
He said the new stuff like a Waka Flocka Weed Christmas. All right. Denise comes in. She says her number 1 is that ghetto Christmas song, What You Gonna
Get Her for Christmas? Come on, 69 boys.
Now, this is her daughter. I knew I had to stop because Tasha will be able to finish those lyrics. Let's see. Nat King Cole is what it's all about. That's right, Mama. That's right. Don't let Kirk Franklin and the Family's Christmas. That one's a great one as well with silver and gold and all of that stuff. But kids, y'all missed the greatest Christmas song of all time.
What are you gonna say, Mariah Carey?
In Hollis, Queens. Mom cooked chicken and collard greens, rice and turkey, macaroni and cheese, and Santa putting grips under Christmas tree. Okay, hey, I had to show Run DMC some love for the Christmas rap. That's how we get down. You are the guest of the show. We want to thank you for coming on, Mr. Hustle. Who are you shouting out today? You know how we close the show.
Man, I'm shouting out the Extra Point. Extra Point, man. Look, Y'all
gonna
got
sing
me
like Miss Celie.
in the background.
Mike know that song. Look at Mike. Mike's like,
No, I like me some Run DMC. Yeah.
right. All right. And we shout you back out, Mr. Stone. Shouts out. Mike, who you shouting out this week?
I'm gonna go quick shout out to the Ohio fans. You know, last year y'all were saying, you know, that's different. Y'all caught us off guard. We didn't think blah 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 blah. This year, there's a little bit more humble in your voice now. And you're like, oh man, maybe we need to get this person out. We need to get this person out. We should have bought this other defense. A little bit more humble. So I'm gonna shout y'all out. Thanks for being humble.
Wait, Mike said they adjusted that bass a little bit in the menu section, huh?
They're like, dang, I guess y'all are good. I guess y'all are the better team. Yeah, you're right.
Hey, Mariah Carey did sing the hell out of that song. All I Want for Christmas Is You. She did. And Mom is enjoying this. Tasha, who you shouting out this week?
I'm shouting out one Mr. Alex Ovechkin for reaching the 800. Y'all know I watch hockey. Quit playing with me. For reaching the 800 goal scorer club. There are only two other people who I've never watched Gordie Howe play, so I don't know. And one Mr. Wayne Gretzky. And on top of that, our boy did it with a hat trick. Come on, Alex Ovechkin. Shout out to the Capitals.
Now, Stephanie wants to check in with a shout out. I want to shout out everyone that has made it to the end of this year. We've all been through a lot. Clap for yourself. I agree. Clap for yourself. I want to send a shout out, Mike with the golf clap. I want to send a shout out to Elijah Fernandez for being recognized as the newcomer of the year in his county in football in Tennessee. Shouts out to Sienna Fernandez. Steve, I know you're gonna be watching this later. I'm gonna be on the hill in a few days. Come and we'll celebrate after Christmas. Come holler at your boy. And
bring Cadillac Williams with you.
Right, and look, Mama's like, Tasha, baby. You know, that's what she's like when your mama say, baby.
How do y'all not know that I watch hockey? This is long before the Preds. I've always been a hockey fan. My favorite
but
player.
She don't shout out Messi. Come on now.
Mama got questions. And I also, right, Steve's son is the one he is. And he looked like Cadillac Williams in that Auburn suit that he had on. I also want to send a shout out to all of the fantasy football people who made their playoffs.
Yeah, you're going
to
learn
wish y'all luck in the playoffs. But that's okay. That was your first season.
Catch these twice.
Yeah. I'm looking over here at somebody who's about to catch this L starting today. Like how the comeback does. Hold on, you ready? Right. Right. All right. And that's all we got for this week. Now, we're gonna take Christmas hiatus to let you all and the team enjoy Christmas Eve with their family and friends, and we'll be back on New Year's Eve because you know New Year's Eve is the game we're all waiting for. Go ahead and get pumped one time, hustle. You ain't gonna give us no frog? No. Oh, you gonna mug us, huh?
The little frog?
You go.
And how you do it?
Mike, don't troll. We don't want no bulletin board material. You know what I'm saying? But this has been fun. Thank y'all. You know how we get down. We will see y'all not in 6 days. We'll see you in 13 days and 23 hours as we preview the big college football playoff day on New Year's Eve. Until then, y'all have a holly jolly Christmas. And in case you didn't hear, go blue.
Go Frogs. What you mean? Go Frogs.
Hey, can you send us out with a little rocking the clock on the Christmas tree, Tasha, as we fade to black? Can you send us out on a little rocking around the Christmas tree as we fade to black?
Rocking around the Christmas tree at the Christmas party hop. Come on,
Mike,
Brenda.
you got more rhythm than that.
Everyone dancing.
Don't do that, Mike.
All right now.
Get out of here.
You will get a sentimental.
Go, Tasha.
Boom, 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 boom.